The year was 1971. India was at war with Pakistan to liberate Bangladesh, then known as East Pakistan. The Indian Army had deployed its forces heavily on the Eastern Front. The Western theatre, on the other hand, had just enough Indian forces to prevent the Pakistani Army from capturing any territory that could be used as a bargaining chip against India. But soon enough, Pakistan's President Yahya Khan came to the realization that the defense of East Pakistan lies in the West. Yahya Khan realized that since East Pakistan was undefendable, Pakistan should occupy as much Indian territory as possible as leverage at the negotiating table. And so, on the intervening night of 4th and 5th December 1971, Pakistan forces comprising 4,000 soldiers, several tanks and a medium artillery battery attacked the Longewala border post. The plan was to capture Longewala, Ramgarh and then Jaisalmer. However, 2nd Lieutenant Dharamveer Bhan's platoon, while on a patrol, detected noises across the border that suggested a large number of armored vehicles approaching. Major Kuldeep Singh Chandpuri contacted battalion headquarters requesting urgent reinforcements. The battalion headquarters gave the major two choices: either stay put and contain the attack as much as possible, or tactically retreat to Ramgarh as reinforcements would not be available that night. Though there were logistics to return to Ramgarh, Major Kuldeep Singh decided to stay back and fight the advancing army. The Pakistani forces began their attack at 12:30 am. A column of 45 Pakistani tanks approached the Longewala post. Due to paucity of time to lay an elaborate minefield, the Indian forces laid a hasty anti-tank minefield with the enemy advancing. The Indian infantry held their fire until the Pakistani tanks had approached within 15 to 30 meters before firing their projector infantry anti-tank missiles. With that and the recoilless rifles, the Indian forces successfully destroyed 12 tanks. Thereafter, the Indian Army used the strategy of deception and attack. The barbed wire, which had not been spotted in the night, were thought to be minefields by the Pakistani side, and they stalled their attack. Situated on a higher ground, firing became easy for the Indian forces when the spare fuel tanks inside the Pakistani tankers exploded, providing enough light in the dark. This became a smokescreen for the Pakistani forces who were at the ground level. The explosions and firings by the Indian forces wreaked havoc on the Pakistani forces who were already grappling with what fell upon them. The Pakistani forces then attempted to surround the post 2 hours later by vehicles getting off the road. But many vehicles, particularly armored personnel carriers and tanks, got stuck in the soft sands of the Thar desert. Throughout this, Major Kuldeep Singh continued to attack with supporting artillery fire. With no cover to hide in the open desert and being a full moon night, they became vulnerable. Though the Pakistani forces far outnumbered the Indian troops, they were unable to make any advance. As the morning dawned, the Indian Air Force came to the rescue with HAL HF-24 Maruts and Hawker Hunter aircraft. Without support from the Pakistani Air Force, which was busy elsewhere, the Pakistani tanks and other armored vehicles were easy targets for the IAF's hunters. To put it in defense jargon, the attack for the Indian side became a turkey shoot, meaning the Indian forces got the Pakistani side by its neck easy peasy. The attack came to an end on 7 December 1971 as the Pakistani forces were forced to withdraw. India inflicted a humiliating defeat with heavy losses on the Pakistani side. Around 200 Pakistani soldiers were killed, 36 tanks were destroyed, and 500 additional vehicles were lost. The day is commemorated as Parakram Divas at the Jaisalmer military station and Longewala War Memorial every year on December 5. The Battle of Longewala had proved to be one of the defining moments in the Bangladesh Liberation War and of India's most crushing victories over Pakistan.